So now every time that somebody says, "Oh, you're shoving your lifestyle down our throat," "Oh, you pesky little gay people, you are knowing because you're speaking." Um, well, let me just say this: that fantasy, that delusion that these reactionaries and these homophobes believe that we are imposing on them, that we're shoving our cocks down our throats. I mean, our lifestyles on down their throats. Believe me, some of those throats I would not want to get near. But these people are saying this. They always say that. I mean, when I was campaigning for Proposition 8, against Proposition 8, I got the usual suspects, Republicans, reactionaries, saying to me, stop shoving it down my throat. And I hate it when they say that because it's not genuine. It's not a genuine argument. The counter argument to our position is what? That we shove our position down your throat? Is that the only thing you have? Is that the best that you can do? Because if that is what you can do, then you're weak. And let me give you this. I found this article about the NFL, again in the news, over the gay issue. In a way, I feel like this issue is being shoved down my throat because I'm not a sports fan. I don't really care about pro sports, and I refuse to call it pro sports. It's not a profession. It's not a profession to throw a ball, okay? A profession is when you're a scientist, you're a doctor, you're an engineer, not a pro footballer or a politician. Because these people are all theater. Though shallow and hollow, as they might be, that's what they are. The NFL, again, in the news. This time we're talking about that a prospect who was applying to be part of a team, I guess. I don't know how the selection process is. I don't follow the NFL. I don't follow football. I don't really care. I have a life. But, sorry if I offended anybody. This young man has come out and said that while he was being interviewed for the job as a football player in the NFL, the team recruiters, or the scouts as they're called, they asked this player, this prospect, what his sexual orientation is. But I think it wasn't direct. It wasn't like, oh, are you gay or straight? It was, do you like women? Do you date women? Are you those creepy questions. I mean, that's even more creepier than just saying, hey, are you gay or straight? But there's a lot of hoopla and angst and panty twisting going on over this. And yeah, it's upsetting that somebody is doing this. I mean, it's pretty. I don't know. It just makes you cringe that an employer is doing this to prospective employees. Doesn't matter if it's the NFL or some corporation somewhere or small business. But look at what we're talking about. We're talking about the football. We're talking about people that are attracted to a sport where they idolize young men at college age, and their masculinity is dependent on the success of another young man who has no connection to this person, but they wear their jersey, they talk about this football player, that team, and that whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're talking about boys, not men, not professionals. We're talking about boys, immature little boys. What do you expect little immature boys to do? They're going to behave like little boys. And little boys play stupid little games. You know, ooh, she has cuties, ooh, that kind of thing. It's really childish. And so, yeah, this whole thing is going to blow up. Let me just say that, I mean, you had that drama on USA Network, which sucked, about the NFL and a gay football player coming out. Ugh. And Chris Cluey, no, not Chris Cluey, Chris Colliver from the 49ers saying that anti-gay remark. And let me just tell you, I mean, that's what these people, not all of them, I mean, you know, there are good people in the NFL. I know that. I'm not going to brush everybody, you know, with the same brush. I'm not going to do that. I know Chris Cluey, he's a nice guy. He's for gay marriage, blah, blah, blah. Aja Bandejo, or he's God, whatever. Fine. I don't care about that. But what I care about is when we have these problems and we refuse to kind of acknowledge the root cause of these problems. We can say, oh, it's homophobia, but it's not really homophobia. It's basically immaturity. That's what it is. The inability for these so-called men to grow the fuck up. That's what it is. So that's why I refuse to call pro sports pro. They're not pro. It's not professional. A real professional will behave professionally. In high school, I used to go to the showers for PE. I didn't dress in front of everybody, all these other guys. And we had fun, you know. We joked around. We spanked each other. Well, it wasn't sexual, but there were a few times where it got that way. Yeah, but you know, straight guys, they knew I was gay. They didn't have any problem, and they played with me. You know, we would joke around. We would hide each other's clothes. We would just do pranks on each other. It was a fun time in the locker room. And if high schoolers can handle a gay man in the locker room, and sometimes we undressed completely, we were just naked. Yeah, and some straight guys love. Actually, a lot of straight guys that I used to hang out with in the locker room, they love it when I see them. They knew I was gay, so they're like, "Hey, look at my big dick," and they would just, you know, wag that thing around. Ooh, look at that. Ooh. Yeah, because they were cocky. That's why. They wanted to impress me, like if I wanted them. But they were kind of ugly, though. Yeah, a little bit ugly. Some of them were kind of cute, but not all of them. And, you know, but high schoolers are more, how can I put this, more put together. High school students. How about junior high school? I was also showering with other boys. And it was no big deal. And back then, yes, they knew I was gay. They had no problem with it. We're talking about 12, 13-year-old Mexican boys undressing in front of each other. No big problem. They knew I was gay, and we just got along. Who gave a shit? These are boys in the 90s. And yet here in 2013, you have grown men having a problem with a gay man in a locker room at a supposed professional sport. Can anybody see the total lunacy and ridiculousness of this? Ridiculousness, that's not even a word, is it? Can anybody see the stupidity of all this shit? Please, see it. So, just view it in that perspective. High school boys can behave better than professional athletes. Get that? I believe that high school boys are more manly, more masculine, intelligent, and even sexier, if I can say that. More well-rounded, more mature than any of these dumbasses in the NFL. And yet people venerate these dumbasses. They put them on cereal boxes. They get sponsorships by Nike and all this bullshit. And you know what it is, right? It's all a money-making machine. It's all just to get a bunch of dupes who have nothing better going in their lives to invest money and time in this shit. That's what it is. That's why I hate sports. Because of the money. The fact that there are people out there willing to sell stupid junk that nobody needs, jerseys, and what else? Like all these sports memorabilia and souvenirs. I don't. And people pay good money for this shit, and then like a few days later, they're like, "Why did I buy this? Why did I buy this shit?" And you want to call this professional football? Come on, please. Pathetic. So I'm not surprised about this controversy. I'm not surprised that this is going on. The only thing I'm surprised about is that it took this long to actually talk about it and to be exposed. Now, I have nothing personally against the NFL. It's just not for me. Okay, that's all I'm saying. I know a lot of people are going to start emailing me, these gay jocks and athletes. I have nothing against you people. It's just that I don't like some of these things that are part of that. I don't know if I can call it a culture, but part of that environment. Those are things that I don't want to engage in because I don't find anything meaningful about it. Okay, that's it. That's all. Get over it. Grow up. And these supposedly athletes, and you know what? I think some of these guys, I'm not talking about Chris Cluey or Ayamandejo, I think they're very genuine, those two guys. I think they are genuine. Chris Cluey, he wrote that, was it a blog post or like a op-ed for the local paper? He wrote an op-ed and it was full of profanity, by the way. It was alright, I guess, but I guess if you want to be looked at as a professional athlete, you don't have to write like that. Leave that to me. I'm not a professional anything. I'm just a commentator, okay? Now, so you have these two, but I'm doubting now the rest of these clowns. I'm doubting some of these guys. Those guys that say, "Oh, I have no problem with it," and then they just move on. I think they just say that just to get the reporter off their back and not be a part of the controversy. But deep down inside that little immature soul, that little 7-year-old boy that's inside that big blob of muscle is crying out, "No, I don't want the fags in the locker room." That's what's going on. And if you're in denial of that, then you're stupid. You're a dupe. Go on, buy their junk. Buy their NFL memorabilia. Buy their stupid jerseys. Go ahead. Feed the machine. And you are free to do so. I don't really care. But I'm not going to do it. You want to get me to a game? And your dreams are going to get me to a game. You want me to watch a game with you? Versus I can do something else that's more worthwhile than just sitting in front of television, just watching supposedly grown men throw balls at each other and run around in tights. Ew! Very masculine. Because they're so immature, that's why they ask these guys if they're gay or not, because they're so immature that they cannot handle their own sexuality. They can't handle sexual orientation. A real man will handle his own sexual things, And I've been with real men. I've been with, you can call it straight guys, but in Mexico it's a whole different. I've been with real men. They don't give a shit. They do give a shit, but they're not uptight or caught up with this gay thing, It's just there, and you do it, and that's it. You want to get a blowjob, you get a blowjob, and that's it. I got one. So what? I'm a man. There. And that's it. That's how it should be. Why is everybody making this whole, big commotion about this? So, I mean, that's what immature people do because they are so insecure about their sexual orientation. I'm not saying that they're gay. These recruiters or scouts who are asking these questions, as creepy as they are, do you like girls? I mean, how? I mean, that's the exact quote, by the way. Do you like girls? Like a fucking little kid. Like a fucking little boy. Like a fucking 5-year-old dumbass. Do you like girls? What kind of intelligent man would say such a stupid thing? Do you like girls? Doesn't that sound like... Oh, that really sounds pathetic. It sounds ridiculous. If you ever hear a grown man say that, send him to the mental hospital. Because he lost it. That guy has a huge mental issue. But, well, there you go. I mean, what else can I say? But what do you expect from these immature little boys? Yeah? Philosophy? Religion? Do you expect these people to come up with the theory of everything and quantum theory and all that? No, they're not going to tell you about that. Let's just play some football. Let's just toss around a ball made out of pigskin. Ooh. I don't know. And the thing is that there are a lot of gay dudes who are into this shit, And that's fine. I don't care if you're into it. If you, but I do have a right to my opinion. I do have a right to say, you know what, that's kind of stupid. I'm just saying. And I don't think that a lot of you who follow sports are stupid. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that for me, it's something that a stupid person would do. And I know a lot of intelligent people that are into sports, and I just go, what? You're so intelligent, and now you're doing this? I mean, what? I don't get it. I really don't. It's like a professor going back to first grade just to have some, just for the hell of it, just to have fun with the kids. Doesn't make any sense.